welcome back to Inside the Seller Studio. I'm Rebecca. John is not here today this week. He is resting and recovering from emergency surgery that he had about a week and a half ago. He didn't spend long in the hospital and he was discharged pretty quickly, but he is really sore and can't really do a lot, so he's just resting inside. That being said, I have taken on about 90 to 95% of all eBay operations. There's still a couple things he can do. He can answer questions, send out offers and stuff, but everything is me, from the listings to the packing and shipping and dropping things off at the post office. I am handling it all. In the past, when he had surgery 3 years ago and was out for chemotherapy and recovering and everything, we kind of just let our store sit tight and didn't do a ton of active listing, like didn't continually list, because we just wanted to keep it active, ship things out, and move on for when we were ready to keep listing again. This time we don't want to do that. We do want to keep the momentum going that we've had with listings so much. So I have been spending a designated hour and a half every morning listing, and then I've been packing and shipping and dropping things off at the post office. I kept track, and this week I actually listed 42 items, which is definitely a personal record for me. And since my goal for the New Year's was only to list one item a day, I think I've caught up on all the days that I missed. There were 13 listings not included in those 42 that John created, had all the drafts ready. It was all ready to go except for the pictures, so I went ahead and took the pictures and got those items listed. We have been going to garage sales still. I'm having to drive, so John gets to be the passenger princess and I get to do all the heavy lifting and moving things around. It's not really that much fun to have to drive. I much rather would sit in the passenger seat and not drive. So that's what we're doing. We're keeping our store active while he recovers. But yeah, we don't want to see a sink in sales or anything. So everything's still shipping out on time, same day, if not the next day, 6 days a week. We did get some feedback from shipping for the first couple days that I shipped, that everyone left positive feedback and talked about how great it was packed. I absolutely loved seeing that, and I think that John was a little put off by the fact that I can ship and pack things just as well as he can, even though I've never had anything break in shipping either. I just know he takes pride in his packing and his shipping and everything arriving on time. So we'll go over some stats for April today. We'll kind of keep it short. We sold definitely the most items we've sold in a month for this year so far. I don't know if it's a record-breaking number for our eBay store in general. I didn't go back and look. We sold 178 items for gross sales of $36.91.75. That's a pretty good sales. Our goal is always $100 a day. We do this part-time because we both work full-time jobs. Our average sale price was $20.74, which is really low, and I definitely attribute that to the Nintendo games that we've been selling, because so many of them are $10 and less. Some highlights that we sold that were over $100. I did have to go over $100 because we had a lot of items in that $50 to $75 range and $75 to $100 range. We did sell Mega Man 5 on the Nintendo. It was a best offer that was sent out for $134.28. The Warhammer 40K lot that we sold, with all the miscellaneous loose figures and then 2 big sets that we weren't really sure if they were complete or not, it ended at auction 2 weeks ago, not last week because we weren't here last week, and it ended at $195, which is amazing. John was hoping for 200 and it didn't make the 200, but it made more than 100, and that was what I wanted, so I was pumped with the 195. We actually did shoot a video of us, I shot the video of John packing and shipping the loose figures, and we will tag that on to the end of this video so you guys can see how we did it, kind of take the stress out of it. It's definitely informal, not that any of the videos we do are formal, But just to kind of like show you guys how we ship some awkward smalls, it doesn't have to be a big deal. It can be really quick and simple. So we'll tag that on at the end of this video. So I'll let you guys know so you can turn it off if you don't want to watch that. And another highlight was a Guitar Hero 3 bundle. I didn't put what system. I think it was the 360. It sold for $150, and it was all in working condition, and it was really nice. Now we can't do the highlights without some lowlights, because I know so many people just highlight how great the business is and, oh, sales are amazing, and they're not all amazing. So we sold a Super Friends. It was a Loot Crate shirt for $4.75. I know the shirts are only listed at $5, so that's kind of like an unfair lowlight, because they're all going to be lowlights because they're so cheap. We sold multiple Nintendo games at $4.11 and $5.11. Plus shipping. All the Nintendo games do have shipping added on to it because they're just priced so low. And then the absolute low light winner is the Nintendo game Othello. I may be saying that completely wrong, and I'm sorry if I am. It sold for a whole $2.11. We're still trying to figure out what we're going to do with all that profit from that $2.11. If there is any after all fees and taxes, that's a pretty low number. But overall, we were very happy with April. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going for May. Hopefully I can keep the momentum going for May. My goal is to definitely list as much as I can in the mornings. I'm limited by time, which is why I want to do it in the morning, so I'm not just spending a bunch of time on eBay. So I've been doing that. And then John's organization system is definitely different than my organization system. So I'm having to go through all the listings that are active, and I'm rearranging all of the totes and labeling them so that I can find things a lot easier in case he's not able to get out here and answer any questions for where things are, and also get it more like balanced so things aren't too heavy for me to lift, because some of the totes in the boxes are up really high and I do have to get up on a step stool, and I don't want to do that. I'm trying to get our 2 shelves of unlisted items down to 1 shelf of unlisted item so that that second shelf can be used for listed items as we keep things listing. Hopefully we sell a lot so that maybe it can be half and half, and we're not just planning for all these listings that aren't going to sell, even though I know they're going to sell. Yeah, I've really been focusing on listing the things that we've picked up in the most recent weeks and not the things that we picked up last fall. So it is fun to go through the items that have been sitting on the shelves for months. They're still sitting on the shelves for months. I didn't pull them because I'm trying to get stuff moved out of my way so that I can get it where I want it. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with us and with our eBay store for right now. John should be back next week, and hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about. Maybe he can give his insight of what it's like to be the passenger princess when going to garage sales. So yeah, after this, I am going to tag the video. I'm going to add the video of us shipping the Warhammer loose figures. You can end the video now if you want, or you can stay tuned and watch, maybe get some ideas for how to ship things out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Okay, so here we have all of the loose Warhammer 40K figures that sold. We are going to do a how-to video for how we would pack these, how we are going to pack these since they sold yesterday in the auction. John's packing, I'm recording. Okay, so we got a box. We are reusing an Amazon box, which is our favorite kind of box to reuse because we always seem to have them. We have some foam padding that we're going to lay down first for some extra cushion, and the event that they cut the bottom of the box first. And
so we have a bunch of extra bits and pieces from boxes. We had ordered some boxes from eBay a while ago, and they crimped them too aggressively, and every piece just fell off. So I've got a bunch of extras of those. So what I did is I kind of built a cradle. Of course, I did it before I put the foam in. And voila. And that's kind of the cradle. So that's going to hold everything hopefully in kind of place. We're going to put the bigger ones in the middle. It's got a little bit more security to it than the corners. I don't want any of the corners to damage it. And then it's kind of going to be 2 to 3 figures per I guess quadrant is what we're going with. The whole minifig is really difficult because I'm overthinking it, and I don't want any of them to have pieces break off. In shipping, we are splitting this shipment into 2 different shipments. We did have the boxed stuff that's already been packed. That was easy. It's in a box. It went in another box, and that was it. I did have these in a little bit different order, but my assistant kind of shifted them all for me. And I'm just going to kind of lay them in there gently. There's a couple that are a little bit bigger and more aggressive in size. They got extra weapons that stick out a little bit more. And then this monstrosity over here. He's going to go over there with the dude holding the fondant flag. Pretty sure this green stuff is dried fondant, which is like edible Play-Doh. And then that's kind of how the base of it is. Then I know some people don't like packing peanuts because they get everywhere and blah 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 blah. I'm gonna fill the void with packing peanuts because I think it'll give the best amount of protection in each little square, as opposed to trying to wrap them individually in bubble wrap or air bubbles or tissue paper. Or
yeah, some of the weapons, they just stick out too much. That wrapping in bubble wrap would take so long and probably not work as well as packing peanuts.
And this did sell for almost $200. It ended at $195, so we almost hit all of our goals for this listing. And we knew this was going to be a really, really difficult packing, simply because of all these figures. Initially, if you watch the video, that's why we left it at the garage sale. Or at least in my head, that's why I left it at the garage sale.
We used to buy our packing peanuts from UPS, the UPS store, but John has noticed the bags weren't on the shelves the last couple times he's been there, so I called this morning to ask if they still sold big bags of packing peanuts, and they did not. So we got these packing peanuts at Office Depot. It was actually cheaper to order online and do curbside pickup than to go in the store by about $12. So
I think that may give me the support in what I want. I'm going to add another piece of cardboard across the middle here in case they cut it open, and then add our thank you card, tape her up, and send it on its way.
And that's how we packed up these awkward little miniatures.
Give it the shake test.
Nothing
sounds
moves.
like it moves, and it's good to go.
Thanks for watching.